Well, hello and welcome back to the channel, folks. Yeah, picking up a new excavator. For the people that have, that follow along the channel, probably not much of a surprise to you. I've been handing out hints like all along. I even talked about it at the end of one video. I even talked about this particular machine. I put a photo of it on Instagram. But yeah, I decided to go for it. So today is the day. We are picking up the 2021 Sany SY95. So the reason why I went with this machine versus other machines, obviously a big reason is cost. I got a really good deal on this machine. The other one that I was bouncing around on, which was like one end of the spectrum to the other, was the new Cat 309 Next Gen. And just to put things into perspective for you guys, that Cat is $71,000 more than this machine. That's a lot of money. I just bought a chipper. My chipper was right around $50,000. So, all in all, basically I have this machine, the chipper, and $20,000 left to work with. Comparing this machine to the Cat. Now, can you compare the two machines to each other? Not really, because that Next Gen just has so many crazy things. Like the cruise control, the parameters you can set so it doesn't hit buildings, the basically finish grade that it does is pretty crazy. And then the big thing is a dedicated auxiliary pump to whatever attachment you're running. So that's a big thing right there. But 71 grand in the difference is pretty hard to swallow. So we're picking up this machine. The other reason is availability was one. And the warranty is incredible. 5 years, 5,000 hours for the warranty. And basically, all it doesn't cover is maintenance stuff like wipers, fuel filter changes, oil changes, and stuff like that. It pretty much covers everything else, which is incredible. I could have got my hands on another Kubota 080, and the price was fairly close, but the Kubota was still more expensive. The warranty, nowhere near as good. This one does have more horsepower than the Kubota. The only downfall with this machine, and it is a downfall and a good thing in one, which I'll show you guys when I get there and walk around, is it does have a fair amount of tail swing. So if you're in tight areas, swinging around, it can kind of get in the way a little bit. It's built like a big machine, but it's not. But everything is accessible. That's what I like, and there's tons of room inside the like the engine bay and stuff to do some work. But enough talk. Let's go pick this thing up. I've got the 550 because the 450 is getting its airbags put on. So after today, we'll have a brand new excavator, and the 450 is going to have its airbags, and she's even more ready to rock and roll. Okay, well, she is loaded up and ready to go. The boom is definitely bigger. The vision out of the side of the cab is nowhere near as good with the boom there. Just the way it's built. It's like built like a big machine, like I said, but there it is. She's on there, lots of room to spare. There's nowhere to tie it down, so I had to use the change, with the tracks, which I don't really like doing, but there's nowhere to tie it down. But we're here at Untitled Chapter in Nova Scotia. This location is the location in the valley. Guy I dealt with is Steve Kempton. We got lots of Sanys. They got JCB, New Holland, Coyote, all kinds of stuff going on here. I'm gonna put his name in the description below because he was a heck of a guy to deal with. So you can see the different style machines. The SY, the U style is like the zero swing sort of thing, and then the C, has the tail swing. Here's a 60. See how much this guy weighs, wherever that sticker is. 6,000 kilograms is the operating mass. So this one is 9180, I believe, but it does seem like it's heavier than my Kubota. But I guess we'll find out. It works out to be like 20,300 pounds, and my Kubota is 20,700 pounds. But it does seem like it's a bit heavier. It seemed like the truck squatted a bit more. The plaque on this is on the other side, but it's 9180, I believe. kgs. But I don't know how accurate they are on that, because it does seem like it's a bit more. Yeah, it's right in there, 9180. But anyway, let's jump in this thing, get it on site, start ripping out some massive hemlock stuff. All right, well, we're hauling, and on the highway, it feels pretty similar to the Kubota, the 8-ton. It may be a touch heavier, I'm not sure. Look at this guy. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Make up your mind. Man, I love when people wait till the very last second to realize, oh yeah, I gotta merge on the highway and there's a truck and a big excavator coming. Anyway, it feels pretty much the same. I have acceleration, you know, on flat grounds. I'm not gonna accelerate going up hills. All my gauges are typically where they would be. I do feel like it might be a touch heavier than the 8-ton. So the 8-ton actually shows, like, inside the cab broken down to, like, per pound. It shows like 20,720 some pounds, I think is what it is. This one just shows the standard 9180 kgs operating mass. So, you know, how accurate is that? Who knows? The only way I would ever know is if I went to the scales and weighed it, but it does feel slightly heavier. I mean, the tracks are like way bigger. The drives are way bigger. You know, the boom looks bigger for sure. I will definitely do a side-by-side comparison video between this and my Kubota, and then of course, you know, running each one. But yeah, something that's kind of annoying is that there's nowhere to chain it down. There's no attachment points. The Kubota's got tons of them. It's on the blade. It's underneath the cab. It's above like the tracks. Through the tracks, there's mounting points. But this, there's absolutely nothing. So I had to use the tracks to chain down, which I typically don't do. Actually, I've probably never done to my Kubota. But no, I mean, it feels good. Can't wait to hook up to the 450, and now that I got the airbags on, because this truck did squat a bit, even with the airbags. I only got like 40 pounds in the bags, but be interesting to see when I have that full power, because with my 450 towing my Kubota, towing my 080, man, it doesn't really lose a whole lot of speed at all. It doesn't seem to matter what it is, but this truck just, you know, it's underpowered big time. But right off the get-go here, we've got a very steep hill. We got South Mountain, and we're starting from a stop. So I really wouldn't be surprised if I'm doing like 30 kilometers an hour going up that hill, because there's no speed, there's no room to gain any speed. Well, it's doing better than I thought. We're holding between 50 and 60. Temperatures are all pretty good. EGT's up to 950, but that's fine. Oil temp's like 235, trans temp 233. That's what these things typically run. Anyway, we just climbed South Mountain. Yeah, not bad. Guys, so the next day, my GoPro died yesterday. I got like an hour and a half, 2 hours runtime on this thing. And so far, quite impressed. Everything about it's different, of course, than the Kubota, you know, slightly different. But man, the power it has is pretty impressive. So we're doing this huge lot here, all these huge hemlocks. So in 2 hours, I got all this stuff sort of piled up. It's just rough right now to get stuff out of the way. I got some more brush back there to grab and bring out more logs that come out. I got brush piled up down along the road, which I'll chip later on. But we got some stumps ripped out down here. So you can take a look at the size of the stumps. Those are big stumps. No issues whatsoever. Rips the roots right out. Hauls right out of the ground. Alright, so I finally got some power here on the GoPro. So, I have about 4 hours runtime on the machine so far. I had about 2 hours yesterday, hour and a half yesterday, and about 2 hours or so today. And you can see we're making some pretty good headway here right now. So You know, look at the size of these trees, huge hemlock trees. It is thick through here. There's a pile of logs so far. There's a pile over here that didn't get limbed up very well. We got brush lined up out along the road, brush here, brush pile there, stumps over here. So I just ripped out another massive stump. Here is the hole that it left behind, and the stump is, well, it's up here somewhere. I think it's the one on top. Yeah, it's that big one right there. The machine has loads of power. So here it is, the SY95, and it is 72 horsepower. It says it weighs 20,300 pounds. I think it weighs a bit more than that, to be honest. But comparing this to my Kubota, the boom is definitely bigger. The drives are huge compared to the Kubota. Like, the space from the bottom of the track to top of the track, it is a much heavier duty setup compared to the Kubota. Like, the drive on this thing is absolutely massive. So this thing is geared up like a big machine. So you've got your platform here, you got handrails to step up on, and you have access to your hydraulics, and you have access to your fuel. So everything is accessible. Locks, of course. So like I said, it's built like a big machine, but it's not a huge machine, but it is definitely bigger than the Kubota when you look at how big this area is as compared to the Kubota. One thing I do love about this machine, it does have a lot of sort of wasted space, I guess you could say. I don't know if that will open. I'll show you the cab here in a second. Just starting to figure out where everything is the room you have inside here to get at, to work. Like, you cannot even think about doing this on the Kubota, a lot of the other machines, but they are made that way because they have so little tail swing. This machine has a large amount of tail swing. You can see I'm sitting sideways right now, and look how much outside of my tracks it's sitting. Basically, if you look at your blade, that's how far it's gonna swing. So it does have a lot of tail swing, so you got to keep that in mind when you're in areas with trees and stuff like that, that you have to watch the tail swing. No angle blade. I barely use the angle blade on my Kubota, so I didn't even worry about that. But again, loads of room inside to get at everything. Your fuel filters, your oil filters, everything is accessible. Dipstick, everything's ground level, which is what you want. You want all your checkpoints to be ground level. Like, everything is ground level, easily accessible. I love it. That's one thing I really love about this machine. Of course, you got access to your air filter, your batteries in here underneath a nice cap, 2 batteries. I haven't even really looked around this machine too much, to be honest. The radiator's in here out of the way will definitely make things better for mulching. So I do plan on putting a mulching head on this for sure. So that's the outside of the machine. Crag buckets, they come out of New Brunswick. Crag attachments, they are probably the best attachments that I've seen, I've used. 4-prong thumb, say that, well, once. I can't even say it once. So jumping in to the machine, so it is a very roomy cab, you know, width wise and everything. There's the screen. I'll start it up here in a second. All your radio and all your radio controls and AC controls are over here. Over here you have your lights, your wipers, your washer, fluid, whatever, and your key and your throttle. This is for your blade, which is so funny because it's so small, and on the Kubota it's massive. Down here we have a cigarette lighter, believe it or not, and an ashtray. One thing this machine does not have accessible to the operator is a cup holder. The only cup holder you have is back here. It's just, honestly, that's not very smart. Get a cubby here for cell phones or papers, you know, drawings, whatever. So that is nice about it. So we'll start it up here. Show you the screen. So there's the screen, and I'm hoping that the fuel gauge works because it's still full. I have about 4 hours runtime on it. It's got 9 hours on it right now. It had like 5 on it when I got it. So hopefully the fuel gauge is working because it has not even moved. If it hasn't, and it does working, then you know, hey, that's pretty fuel efficient. So this is your rabbit and your turtle, and this gets you into all your auxiliaries and you know all that sort of stuff. Quick coupler control, all kinds of stuff here. Your auxiliary, you come in, there's all your different modes. Right now there's only one line run, so it's the only thing going is a thumb. So every one of these will work on the thumb. That will get me into one sort of downfall, I guess, that I still figuring this out. So one downfall that, and it's not even a downfall, I guess, it's just that I'm used to the Kubota. The thumb controls for on my Kubota are horizontal, and the second you touch it, it does something. This one here, it takes a second, and it's toggled up and down. I'm just not used to it. I'm trying to get used to it. I'm getting better on it for sure, but I will probably have to add another joystick because I don't want to run a diverter valve like I did on my 4-ton. I'd rather have my thumb control on one and my other line for my mulcher once I put the mulcher on. So right now I'd have to run a diverter valve just like I did on my 4-ton because I only have this auxiliary control on one joystick. So we'll probably have to swap this joystick out for another one with a toggle on it. And I'd love to have horizontal toggles because I'm just having a hard time getting used to this. The other machines are horizontal. But it's got loads and loads and loads of power. Yesterday I wasn't running it in wide open. I am now because I'm starting to get, you know, better on it. But it is weird, like every excavator is the same, but every excavator is also different. Just little differences about it. And you change the controls from backhoe to excavator inside of here. It's pretty easy. But that's it, guys, that's it. Gonna try to get some footage of me actually using it here in a little bit. Try to gear up a suction cup somewhere, but so far very happy with the machine. It hauled well. Like I said, it does feel a bit heavier. Here comes a bunch of hail. But yeah, the drives and the undercarriage on this thing are massive compared to the Kubota. not the best, you know, camera angle that I could provide you guys, but it's the best one I can give you today. So I can tell you one thing already, from running it yesterday to running it today is night and day. Yesterday I had it in, you know, I didn't have it anywhere near the top setting. Today I do, and it's even much smoother now than what it was in the non-top setting or whatever, not wide open. I'm running it wide open right now, but it's loads of power. It almost feels like something like broke in the hydraulics or something, because it's so much smoother now. But honestly, it's just me getting more used to it. But I'm not being too picky with, you know, the roots and all this stuff here, because all we're doing now is clearing the lot. The guy plans on putting like a camper or something up top for this year, and then next year he's going to build his camp, or build his house, his cottage, whatever. He may do it this year, so if he does it this year, then I'll be back to dig his foundation. So I'm not being too picky with this stuff right now. It's more so just to get the trees down, get the stumps up, and start getting a vision of exactly what he's going to do here. Just like everybody else, I always tell them, listen, like, wait till if you're not sure where you want to put things or what you want to build or whatever, just wait till you get the lot cleared first, and then decide after that. Once it's cleared, and you can start to get such a better vision of everything. But gotta get my guy back tomorrow to cut some more of these trees down. I'm pretty much, I got all the stumps ripped up now that I can see anyway. But yeah, I'm starting to like the machine more and more. It's so funny, like, yes, they're all excavators, but they still all feel different. Like, there's no way around it. I am gonna clean up a lot of this stuff though. There's a lot of deadfalls and stuff down. I'm gonna clean up a lot of the smaller stuff. Get on top and we'll haul out of here, so it does look neater. But yeah, I'll take those stumps up top now and get rid of those. But it's very responsive, very quick. The only thing that I'm not huge on is the foot pedals. It feels really easy and nice and smooth going forward, but when you're tracking back, it's kind of uncomfortable. But it's leaps and bounds better right now than what it was yesterday. So there's two stumps right there getting picked up with absolute ease. The smallest stumps on this job so far. So those were the easiest ones that I had for sure. So I'm getting better with the thumb, but I'm still not huge on it. I'm just so used to the horizontal toggle and just every little movement does something. But I'm getting better. The more and more I use it, the better it is. I'm gonna see if I can find my shoulder mount. You guys, I used that on one job last year, one mulching job. Everyone said they really liked it, so I'm gonna see if I can find that again. That is a pretty good perspective. I like that better than the POV mount, to be honest. Yeah, loads of power. 72 horsepower. I forget what my 080 is, but there's a noticeable difference in this. Noticeable. Starting to get a pretty good pop maybe half the cutting's done. So I haven't had a full day on this job yet. They're basically 2 half days. But if I get Shane over here cutting, probably one more good full day. One good full day, like start to finish, can get the lot probably grubbed off, get all the trees removed, and then we'll start thinning out some trees down by the lake. And then I'll set up the trucks to come in. I'll probably actually bring my chipper in first. I'll bring the chipper in to chip all the brush I can chip. And then after that, I'll hire the truck. I'll hire a truck to come in and start hauling some of these stumps out. And then it's shale. I'm gonna bring some shale in. Not down here, but just up top for where he's gonna park his camper. And then we're gonna extend the driveway in a little bit. Much better. But yeah, the downfall is definitely the foot pegs. Not a huge fan of them right now. All right, so it's the end of sort of close to a full day. We've only got about 7 or 8 hours runtime on a total from yesterday and today. We're getting some stuff piled up, brush is piled everywhere, stumps, grubbings, logs. We're starting to get a clearing here, pretty good. So basically, I'll touch this up a bit more, but that's gonna be his end result for now. Track back over it a bunch of times, pack it down. No sense going too crazy because of the foundation, like I said. But I'm gonna ribbon off the corners for tonight. For my my guy running the saw to cut the trees for the corners, double ribbon the corners, and then down through here I'll start ribboning off a few just to kind of thin it out a bit to give him a view of the lake. But every minute I run the machine, it gets more and more like home, easier to run, loads of power, very smooth, very quick. Actually, a guy came over, a very experienced operator came over. He buys John Deere's and he sat into it and said it feels very similar to a Deere, and he ran it and said it's very quick, works very, very good. So far so good. But anyway guys, it is freezing. Like, it was warm yesterday, it's freezing right now. Yeah, after yesterday, the 2 hours or 1.5 hours I ran, I was like, oh, there's a couple things I don't really care for. Just because it's different. It's just different than the Kubota. It's what I'm used to. But the more and more I use it, the more I like it. So that's good. But anyway, stay tuned for lots more videos on the machine, all the other stuff going on, of course. And I'll get some more footage of this job here, try to find my shoulder mount. But for now, it's going to do it. So until next time, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you then. Bye.